Chris Sutton has sent a brutal message to Rangers fans amidst Steven Gerrard potentially returning to the club, and it's hilarious. We will go over what he said in today's video, whilst of course going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours.
But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.
Chris Sutton has thrown his support behind Callum McGregor amid growing criticism of the Celtic captain's performances this season, insisting the 32-year-old remains a class above his teammates while pointing out the problem in the Celtic team. McGregor has faced scrutiny in recent weeks as Celtic have struggled to impose themselves in matches, with some pointing to a lack of urgency and drive from the skipper in the heart of midfield. He doesn't go for the forward, risky pass, choosing to play it sideways or backwards more often than not. However, Sutton believes the issue lies elsewhere. I think that he's on a different level to any other player in the Celtic team. That's my view. I think it's the players around him. I don't think Callum McGregor will ever lose that ability in terms of his awareness and that first quick pass. I think there are players in the team currently who are hiding and that kills the flow. The other thing is oppositions realise if they can snuff Callum McGregor out, then, Celtic are average. His football brain works much quicker than every other player in the team. And I think there hasn't been that flow because of what is happening around him. Callum McGregor, in years to come, he will slip out of the team because physically he won't be at the level he once was, and that happens. But we've spoken about this before, his position in the team. He's virtually irreplaceable. But Callum McGregor is absolutely not the problem for Celtic. It's basically everybody else around him who is the problem. McGregor, who retired from international duty following the Euros in Germany, remains Brendan Rodgers' go-to in the number 6 role. Now, in his 12th season as a first-team regular, the midfielder continues to rack up the minutes and responsibility, often without a break. At one point, he had played the most minutes in Europe, so that physical toll will be catching up on the 32-year-old. His workload and influence have once again become central talking points as Celtic navigate a difficult period on and off the pitch. While others may come under the microscope, McGregor is not the one who should be in the firing line. At least that's what Sutton thinks. Now for the main story, as Chris Sutton has offered a typically cutting reminder to Rangers supporters as speculation grows over a potential Ibrox return for Steven Gerrard. Gerrard is reportedly set for talks with Rangers as the club continue their search for a new manager, but Sutton wasn't about to let the excitement go unchallenged. The former Celtic striker delivered a pointed reality check, saying, "Well, Callum Davidson won more than him, didn't he?" Sutton refers to Davidson's remarkable 2020/21 campaign with St Johnstone when he won both the Scottish Cup and the League Cup, eclipsing Gerrard's single Premiership title from the same COVID-hit season. Davidson's side even knocked Rangers out of the Scottish Cup at Ibrox during that run. 1 trophy in 9 is the standard that Rangers fans are gloating over. The manager left Govan to fail at Aston Villa and then fail in Saudi Arabia, but it's fine. He just gets it because he dresses like a Rangers manager with his navy suit and brown brogues. Sutton concluded sharply, if Gerrard is given 3 seasons and a global pandemic, he might just win a league title for Rangers again. The Liverpool legend led Rangers to the 2020-21 league title before leaving for Aston Villa in late 2021. He got scared of Ange and jumped ship, and I don't blame him, Sutton added. In other news, Celtic fans have come to know that Gavin Strachan is a constant presence in the dugout, manning the laptop during matches. But what many might not know is that before fully committing to coaching, Strachan had another career path in mind: sports journalism. As his playing days began to wind down, Strachan took the proactive step of enrolling in a degree in professional sports writing and broadcasting at Staffordshire University, a course run by former Sheffield Wednesday man Laurie Madden. He wasn't just ticking boxes either. Strachan threw himself into it and even penned a regular blog for BBC News during the 2008-2009 season, sharing his insights as a current pro navigating life in the lower leagues. At the time, he had his sights set on a media career. He's since reflected that he enjoyed his journalism studies and had hoped it would lead to full-time work. But, as he told the Scotsman, the opportunities weren't as plentiful as he'd expected. That reality check prompted a pivot, one that's worked out well. He moved into coaching, beginning at youth level before progressing through the ranks and eventually joining Neil Lennon's staff at Celtic in 2020. Strachan has remained part of the setup under Ange Postecoglou and now Brendan Rodgers, building a solid coaching reputation. It's a fascinating and lesser known detail about one of Celtic's key backroom figures. In other news, Roger Hannah joined a calm but pointed discussion on Super Scoreboard this week after a Celtic supporter called in to question him about his much debated story that claimed Brendan Rodgers was at the centre of division inside Celtic Park. The Scottish Sun article, published in September, quoted a senior Celtic source who claimed Rodgers was working his ticket out of Celtic Park and playing to the gallery. It landed like a bomb among the Celtic support, who saw it as an internal hit job on their manager during a fragile spell for the club. The Celts had just stumbled through another poor transfer window, crashed out of the Champions League qualifiers to Kairat Almaty, and found themselves scraping for form in the Europa League. For a fan base already frustrated with the board's decision-making, the leak added to the anger. On Wednesday night's show, a caller named Kieran put the journalist on the spot. The article in The Sun said club sources blamed Rodgers for paving the way for his exit and that senior figures were in disagreement with him. Do you still stand by that article? Yes, Hannah replied bluntly. I stand by that article. The caller then pointed out that the Celtic Fans Collective had raised concerns over how the board handled the leak. Their Celtic Collective statement, issued after a meeting at Celtic Park on Monday, claimed the board simply said this case was closed. Kieran continued, Celtic say it's unsubstantiated. The board asked, was it you? Was it you? And then said, that's it, done. But if you're standing by someone inside Celtic saying these things about the manager, how can it just be done so easily? When asked about his source, Roger sensibly replied, well, I won't. I know what you're getting at. Brendan called it cowardly, then said it was done. Michael Nicholson used the same word at the meeting, done. So whatever issue there was, it's no longer an issue. That didn't wash with the caller. There are folk inside the club who've got disdain for how Rodgers goes about his business, Kieran said. They'll do anything to undermine him. And now the board says, it's fine, it's done, it's not gone down well with fans. This latest episode reinforces the sense of disconnect between the Celtic boardroom and the terraces. The collective statement after the meeting appeared to confirm that CEO Michael Nicholson described the matter as closed. For the fans, though, that closure feels hollow. Many believe Hannah's refusal to retract proves the information came from inside Celtic Park, yet no one has faced consequences for publicly undermining the manager. It adds to a long list of frustrations, transfer failings, Champions League qualifier humiliation for the 5th time in a row, and mixed messages from those running the club.
What do you think of what we discussed in today's video? Let us know down in the comments section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.